Hi!
We're here!
We're here! Wow.
Rise from your grave.
Sidewalk slam. Like a phoenix from the ashes of, what, 2 pay-per-views?
3?
3? No. 2. Money in the Bank and Extreme Rules. And then,
Great Balls of Fire? Did we do...
There was no Great Balls of Fire this year.
There was no Great Balls of Fire this year?
Thank goodness.
All right.
There were no
I think I got confused
balls.
because the AJ Shinsuke feud.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there'd be a Great Balls of Fire.
Right, of course. You'd think, right? Branding.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so we... sorry, I'm Graham. This is Adam.
Hi.
And this is Sidewalk Slam, a wrestling podcast where we look at narrative and storyline and storytelling. And we haven't done an episode for a little while because we've been, I guess you'd say, like, remiss in our duties, because the whole point is that we bring you, we go into a pay-per-view and we talk about the storylines leading up to it and how these stories have been told and everything. And
we hecked up.
we haven't been watching a lot of wrestling recently. It's been tough.
I've had 0 time
Yeah.
to watch wrestling.
It's been, I retweeted something the other day that was like, is anyone else just permanently going through a lot right now?
Yeah.
It's the last couple of months have been really hectic, and there's the wrestling has not abated. The wrestling has not stopped, nor has it been like.
Morale's fine too.
Yeah, morale's been fine, but the wrestling has not been like horrendously compelling.
Not really.
Like
There's been a few moments. I mean, like, wrestling is like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's lulls. Just like if a TV show ran every year, all year round.
Yeah.
There's going to be parts that are just...
no off season. So
Yeah. This is going to be like,
Yeah.
you know? And this was kind of that to me a little bit. Like, I was keeping up to date with everything that was going on, but definitely not, like, sitting down watching Raw and SmackDown every week.
Yeah, I know that there's been some good stuff that we've missed, but when I was watching SummerSlam, it was mostly just sort of like, oh, that guy's champ now. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I mean, I kept up on the results, but,
Yeah.
you know, we missed Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn having a terrible feud.
Yep. I'm sad, actually, we didn't get to really talk about that one. But
Yeah, neither of them
Sami
were
got
on the
vertigo.
show. Yeah, Sami got vertigo. That's why he wasn't at the Greatest Royal Rumble. And then he thought that Bobby Lashley wasn't actually in the military.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
And then he had an interview with Bobby Lashley's sisters, which was Men in Drag.
Yep.
And that was a bad promo.
Yep.
And then Bobby Lashley beat the tar out of him.
Did Sami get hurt? Like, for real? Is he hurt?
Maybe emotionally. Yeah,
I haven't seen him for a while.
I mean,
he's
like I
okay.
said, neither of them are on SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And, you know, Lashley was a big, like, hey, look, it's Bobby Lashley. Da-da.
And, like, even... I mean, we'll get into it, too, but, I mean, we won't be able to talk about Bobby Lashley, but there's, like, the build-up to SummerSlam. Actually, the build-up to Extreme Rules was Bobby Lashley against Roman Reigns, kind of trying to decide who the #1 contender would be. And it looked like signs were pointing to Bobby like to win this feud and go on to fight Brock Lesnar, because for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was just Roman again. And
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't watching everything live, but I saw a bunch of the results. And so when I read Roman Reigns to face Brock Lesnar for Universal title at SummerSlam, I immediately fell asleep. I was sitting at my desk and I just... What happened?
What year? You're like the Jumanji gift? Like, what year is it? Your daughter's 18.
What happened?
Oh no, I've missed so much.
So yeah, we'll do what we can, but
I think this episode will be us getting back in the groove. We'll talk about wrestling. We'll touch on what we can. Things will come up, and we'll just kind of freeform it and see how we feel.
Let's get in the groove together.
Yeah.
So, very quickly, the pre-show.
I didn't watch the pre-show.
I didn't watch it either. But
the 2-hour pre-show.
Yeah, Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega is actually a mixed tag match.
Yeah.
Defeat Lana and Rusev.
They've been doing like the squash matches for Almas on SmackDown, like what they did for Braun and everybody else that comes in now. It's like
former NXT champion.
Former NXT.
Andrade Cien Almas.
They were doing squash matches for him, and then for some reason Almas had a beef with Rusev Day. Said it was a crappy holiday. basically, is the basis of the feud.
Yeah.
And Zelina and Lana have been fighting because I think
They-
Zelina called Lana not a real wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it was.
I'm glad that they didn't break up Andrade and Zelina. I'm bummed that because they were like, oh, now we have to have it be a couple versus a couple, so now we have to kick Aiden English to the curb.
Yeah, Aiden English is gone.
Yeah.
Because Aiden English ended up costing Rusev a couple of matches by accident. I mean, it was purely accidental.
It was at one of the pay-per-views that we didn't cover where he comes out and does his whole preamble and he does like a sort of a beat poet introduction and then he's gearing up for the it's and then the music hits and he doesn't get to do Rusev Day and then Rusev sort of comes out and Aiden looks like a little perturbed but is like yeah Rusev, let's go do the thing, you know, and then then later he was gone.
He was gone.
Yeah, I mean he's not gone from the company, it's just he's not Rusev's boy anymore.
Nobody got Future Endeavored this year. Isn't this the time of the year after WrestleMania?
It hasn't been like that for a little while, thankfully. They've got so many.
Not since they let go Damian Sandow. That was like the last one I remember. I was like,
what?
Like
5 people out the door,
yeah.
Also on the pre-show, Cedric Alexander defended the Cruiserweight Championship against Drew Gulak with the stipulation the Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher banned from ringside. I have no concept of what led to that, but I'm sure it was actually very entertaining. That's not even sarcastic. And the B team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, formerly the Miztourage, if you recall, the B team now have been going on a tear through the Monday Night Raw tag team division. They're the defending champs. This was a match against the Revival, and the B team successfully retained.
Because like months ago, after the Miz got traded to SmackDown, the Miztourage was no more, and they were like, well, we need to find someone else. And so they tried Finn Balor, and that didn't work because they wanted to be part of the Balor Club. And I can't remember who else they tried. Roman? They wanted to be part of the Shield with Seth. I think it was Seth. Seth and Finn, that's who it was. And then Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy were still the tag team champions.
The leaders of worlds.
Yeah. And then the B team ended up forming a tag team together, and they've been undefeated ever since. Yeah.
Their T-shirts are just like white with Sharpie, like a big B scrolled on them in Sharpie.
They've been great.
Yeah, and Bo Dallas has gotten to do some of his
Believe stuff.
Believe era kind of character work.
I loved that character.
The B stands for best and like that sort of stuff.
I loved that character so much. I'm so sad it didn't take off. Like, I can see why it didn't.
Former NXT champion.
Wasn't he the first NXT champion?
I think so, yeah. But that was the pre-show, and now, live from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and brought to you by, Cricket Wireless, MLB Tap Sports Baseball 2018, WWE Elite Collection, and Tap Out. It's SummerSlam 2018. We opened with a video of Terry Crews doing a big sort of like narrative kind of what it means to fight in the wrestling and do the thing and prove yourself, and it's all very cool. And it's Terry Crews, and he's super charismatic, so it totally works. And then they go through these graphics of all the fight cards with this groundswell of music, and the shot of it's Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah. The audio they use of Michael Cole is him going, "Big fight feel," and it's like, no, it's not a big fight feel. It's a big fight. Yeah. You say big fight feel when it's like some random match on Raw, when it's like that person and that person. Wow, this is a real big fight feel with these two guys here. No, this is the headline of, this is the main event of SummerSlam with Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. It's a big fight.
It's a big fight.
That's a very minor nitpick, but I was like, oh, that sounds stupid. Anyway.
I never even thought about that.
It's like I said, very, very minor. Yeah. The opening match, well, actually, the first person who comes out is actually Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Dean Beefy Boy Ambrose.
Yeah, he's so jacked up.
Yeah.
He's way bigger. I looked at before and after pictures too, and I was like, geez, his traps are so big now. Shoulders.
He returned to Monday Night Raw the previous week. Yeah. After being out for many
8 months
with an injury.
He was out since last year, like November last year.
And he's been lifting and shaving his head
8 months.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, cut his hair. He's been lifting like crazy. Back on a new diet. Raring to go.
Yeah. And so he is there to just sort of hang around at ringside because the first match is Dolph Ziggler, the Intercontinental Champion, defending against Seth Rollins. And Ziggler has been doing some great work on Monday Night Raw recently, paired with, not in a tag team way, though there have been tag matches, but paired with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
We've talked about Drew McIntyre before. He came in many years ago. His character was like Vince McMahon's pick for the the next great thing. The Vince McMahon's hand-picked champion was the storyline, and then they never really did much with him. And then they released him, and he went away and did a whole bunch of work in the Indies and got hairier and
Bigger,
and then came back and is amazing.
Yeah.
And he's such a terrible nickname, the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. But sure, whatever. And there have been altercations with Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler in this feud for the Intercontinental title where Drew McIntyre has interfered. In fact, they bang on it a lot during this match that there was a 30-minute Iron Man match that went into overtime.
Yeah.
And the result of Dolph Ziggler retaining was because of interference from Drew McIntyre.
It was weird too, though, that Iron Man match. Seth Rollins, it was such a weird booking thing.
This was at Extreme Rules?
This is Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
It was the Iron Man. It was the main event at Extreme Rules. And Seth Rollins went up 3-0. The babyface was up 3-0. And then the heel comes back to tie it up. And then Ziggler wins
In overtime.
Wow. Such a weird, I thought it was kind of neat, just because, hey, the good guy can scream. Because Seth Rollins has been built up as, being on such a hot streak, and, he's so good, and he's so in control all the time.
Yeah.
And then in a match where he was completely in control, he blew it.
Yeah.
And, he did lose because Drew McIntyre was there, but still at the same time, it's it adds an element to him that we don't see really from Roman.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's you need that for a character. You need that extra dimension.
Yeah. So Dean Ambrose is the first person to come out, and then Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
With his he's got his ring attire. He's got one leg from the knee down is gold.
Yeah.
His bad knee,
Yeah.
right? Which is sort of the weak spot.
Yeah.
It's like he's a boss fight. I wonder where I have to hit.
Yeah, I want the Shadow of the Colossus music to start playing.
Then Dolph Ziggler, the champion, his music hits. He comes out. Then Drew McIntyre's music hits separately. And that's the music that they walk to the ring with.
Yeah, it was weird.
The champion, the commentator was doing, the ring announcer was saying, and the champion, Dolph Ziggler, under Drew McIntyre's music. It was real. I don't know why they didn't have McIntyre enter first if Ziggler's the defending champion of this match. It was a weird,
weird
choice.
Was it you who told me, or somebody that tweeted at me saying that they read somewhere, in kayfabe, the champion decides if they come out first or second?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, somebody tweeted at me, I think.
Well, then a lot of champions make dumb decisions.
Yeah. But that's, people get all up in arms about. We've talked about it many times on this show, champion always second.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not always the case.
Not always, but in this case, it was very silly. So I have to make a brief aside.
Yep.
Wow, Coach is bad.
Yeah, he's not great.
And the thing is, you can forgive a commentator for saying a lot of sort of inane stuff. Booker T was famous for the bonkers things he would say. But I have never heard the rest of the commentary team have to, in improv terms, have to know somebody so often. Corey and Byron bicker all the time.
Yeah.
And Cole and Corey disagree. Corey's always, not always, there's exceptions, but Corey is generally cheering for the heels. And so Michael Cole will say, oh, well, he wants to do this. And Corey's like, Cole, what are you thinking? It's obviously this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because they're doing character stuff. But Coach will say something that's totally false. And Michael Cole has to be like, no, that's not correct. In this match, Coach goes, oh, he made a mistake. And Cole has to go, no, he didn't. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And that happened constantly. Coach is just not great at this.
I just glaze Coach over. I don't
Smart.
Think about what he's saying. I'm just
That's a really good...
Commentary in general doesn't really... I probably ignore it more than I should.
This was the dumbest thing he said during this match about halfway through.
Yeah.
Is he was like, social media was surmising that this would be the show stealer of the night. This is, social media was saying this was going to be the match of the night. Which is dumb to say on commentary for a couple of reasons. One, you're saying that this will be better than the main event.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, what if it sucks?
Yeah.
You're saying this match is supposed to be amazing. And then if the match sucks, you look really stupid.
Yeah. Man.
So
yeah, I don't even notice half the stuff he says.
Good.
I just blank it out. I don't know.
Luckily.
Yeah, the match was great.
Luckily, this match was great.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
My favorite part is when
22 minutes.
Yeah. My favorite part is when Seth hit the Falcon Arrow, but it was reversed. Yeah, it was crazy off the top rope. I was like, he did that double suplex thing into like the Falcon Arrow, but Ziggler was like upside or flipped.
Yeah, it was.
And face first.
Ziggler was on the top turnbuckle facing out of the ring.
Yeah.
Seth jumped up behind him, grabbed him, did a backflip. I can't remember what they actually called it. I guess just like a modified top rope suplex.
Yeah, just like a reverse suplex.
Yeah, just a top rope reverse suplex into, and I quote, a modified sidewalk slam.
They said sidewalk slam a couple times. I PogChamped IRL.
Yeah.
They said the thing.
They said that's us.
I'm waiting for them to be like, it looks like some kind of.
Someday.
Maybe one day, Graham, if we ever make shows on a regular basis.
Yeah, once people actually like know that they can rely on our schedule, maybe then.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this match was really sweet.
Yeah.
Rollins hits the buckle bomb. There's exterior. Exterior? Yes. Outside the ring would be the exterior of the ring.
Yes.
There's altercations between Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose. They all sort of get to do some stuff. They do. What was the move? Because they also in this match mentioned that the apron was the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
What did Ziggler do to? Ziggler did some sort of move that slammed Seth onto the apron. It looked really painful.
Yeah, because it's the hardest part of the ring, Graham. It's the way it works.
And then
I love Drew McIntyre, by the way. I think he's great.
he's great. Yeah. Did they call what do they call the curb stomp now? The blackout?
I think it's called the curb stomp.
They just call it the curb
He
stomp
has a
again?
T-shirt. It just says curb stomp on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess they don't care anymore.
He says like it says he's wearing a T-shirt. I think I either saw it on maybe it was at this pay-per-view or at Raw, and it was curb stomp and then like burn it down like in a circle kind of thing.
All right. Anyway,
I think they call it different things. Blackout, the curb stomp, or just the stomp. I think sometimes.
the end of the match is Ambrose Dirty Deeds McIntyre outside the ring to stop him from trying to interfere, and then Rollins hit. Ziggler's going for a super kick. He's like warming up the band, a la Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But then Rollins catches Ziggler with a kick, and then the curb stomp, and then that's the win. So
Yeah.
your new champ, Seth Rollins.
He's
Great,
back.
great match.
Yep.
The Bella Twins are backstage.
Yeah. Rumor has it. Rumor. I read a rumor.
Okay.
Take this for what you will. But Nikki Bella is supposedly facing Ronda Rousey in the main event of the women's pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, they announced the women's only pay-per-view.
Yes.
It's called Evolution.
Yeah.
It's in October.
Yeah.
Sounds neat.
Yep.
That's a weird choice.
Yep.
Huh.
Because I think they feel like Nikki has a big fan base, which she does.
Yeah.
And then with like the Bella, there's a new Bella season.
There's a new season of Total Bellas and a new season of Total Divas. This entire interview with Renee Young was them just sort of chilling for the various
And Brooklyn
WWE
booed them.
reality shows while trying to lampshade it by like Nikki. Yeah, Nikki, I think, was trying to get
When they showed their YouTube, I laughed.
Brie, yeah, and their YouTube channel. Brie was trying to get all the plugs out there, and Nikki was like, Brie, stop.
Yeah.
Stop plugging all of our stuff. I'm trying to plug different things. I don't know, anyway. They're there to cheer on Ronda Rousey in the the Raw Women's Championship fight tonight.
Yep.
SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The Bludgeon Brothers, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, defending against The New Day.
I want to like the Bludgeon Brothers so badly, and I just can't. Like, I feel like I was really excited for them when they first got formed. I was like, man, this is great. I love Rowan and I love Harper, and let's see what they can do. And it's just kind of like, fart in church is the word I'm looking for.
I've watched so little of the lead up. All I have to nitpick is this.
Yeah.
And so I was noticing lots of little things. And I don't think the Bludgeon Brothers buy their own gimmick.
Yeah, that's what it feels
Because
like.
they walk in and they do the slow walk to the ring and everything, but then when they're standing at the end of the entrance ramp, the way that they take their gear off is so there's no theater to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they get to the end and then they're like, okay, it's time to take the stuff off, and Harper sort of like awkwardly drops the hammer and then like just sort of like manhandles his cool antler mask off.
Yeah.
You know, it should be like a slow reveal, and like, granted, Undertaker takes like 8 years to take off a hat, and you don't need to go quite that far.
No.
But a little more like that.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know, they've got this cool music, and they've got these cool outfits, and they got matching outfits, which I like, and they've got these big hammers, and it's like, man, they should be super cool. And they're just like not doing anything outside of being big.
Yeah.
They're just big. They're big, the team.
Yeah. Big, the team. There's definitely a lot of and I'll talk about this later with the Finn Balor match. There's a lot of commentary also needs to sort of help in that.
Yeah.
You know, they're sort of like playing the Bludgeon Brothers. They're sort of undercutting them a little bit, not badly, but they're like, oh, they're big and scary, but not like actually. Like they say the words, look at these guys, they're big and scary, but they don't actually sound that scared. That's very.
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand you.
So Kofi is the New Day member sitting this match out.
Yep.
So it's Big E and Xavier Woods challenging for the title, and I mean, it's a good match.
Yeah,
It's fun.
fine.
They do cool stuff. It's quick. It's a quick match, and it eventually
There's a
ends.
lot of quick matches on this card.
Yeah, settle in. It eventually ends with the Bludgeon Brothers losing via DQ because they use the hammers.
Yeah. At least, thankfully, they've stopped like dropping the hammers. What was that pay-per-view a while ago when he
they
dropped
drop
it
one
and it
goes
bounced? Yeah. It's like, ooh.
So still champions because the belt doesn't change hands on a disqualification.
Nope.
But so your winner's New Day, your champion's still the Bludgeon Brothers.
It just seems weird to me that like a team that's being presented as like so big and scary and dominant, and then they just end up getting the hammers to like when they feel like they're behind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a classic heel move, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, dude. Aren't we? It's the modern age. Can't we just like? Can't a big bad heel team just win? Big and bad.
Yeah.
You know?
But not today. I guess.
I guess not.
Yeah.
At the second biggest show of the year.
Well, how about this match? Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
If Braun Strowman loses, no matter how,
Yeah.
any way,
Yeah.
if he loses in any way, Kevin Owens gets Braun's Money in the Bank briefcase, because Braun Strowman is Mr. Money in the Bank right now.
Yeah.
He won the briefcase at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in the ladder match. And they show a video package of the lead up to this where basically Braun Strowman has been tormenting Kevin Owens for weeks and weeks and weeks.
He put Kevin Owens in a porta potty.
Yeah, and we talked about this when Strowman came out and started bothering Elias by carrying the double bass.
Yeah.
Strowman's like funny
Yeah.
because he's outside the porta potty and he's like, "Hello, is someone in there?" Like Braun Strowman doing like a funny voice,
Yeah.
and then Owens is like, "Yeah, leave me alone for a second," and then he tapes it up and drags it into the arena and knocks it over.
Yeah. For some reason, there's blue ink inside the porta potty.
Well, the water in porta potties is blue.
Oh, but is it that like? I mean, it's not that thick, right? It's like blue paint.
Yeah. I guess.
But I mean, it's like wrestling. You need a visual, right? It's like we can't put poop all over him.
Yeah.
So it's like we need something to like him to come out, and Vince is like, it's blue ink.
Poop jokes.
It's poop. You
So
get
then
it?
Owens complains to
Blue poop.
Kurt Angle and Stephanie McMahon
Yeah.
about being repeatedly victimized at the hands of Braun Strowman, which is not untrue.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like Owens is being a dick the whole time. So,
And then at Extreme Rules, him and Braun had a cage match.
Yeah.
And Braun threw Kevin Owens off the top of the cage onto the announce table, which Kevin Owens won because he touched the ground, like he escaped the cage first. So that was mainly Kevin's thing. He's like, oh, I beat Braun. Like, I beat him.
and so he's putting forward, let's fight, and if I win, I get the briefcase, but I don't want he can't be DQ'd to get out of this. You know, let's put this whole stipulation in there. And so they say, okay,
Yeah.
we'll do that. And This match lasted 1 minute and 50 seconds.
What happened to Fight Owens Fight? I missed that, Owens.
Yeah, this was
Remember when Owens debuted against John Cena?
This was a real letdown. There was 2 different matches on the card that I was like, ooh, this could be really good, and they were over almost immediately.
I think that, like, I am disappointed with what they've done to Kevin, or what I feel like they've done to Kevin. I don't know how Kevin Owens feels about this, but I mean, he's getting paid still.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's that, but there's also like artistic integrity, you know, as far as wrestlers go. And like this match did a good job of telling us what we already knew about Braun.
Yeah.
He's big and mean and fast and strong, and you don't want to mess with him. And it didn't really do anything for Kevin. Like, it didn't help. It didn't give me any new insight on like a characteristic of Kevin Owens or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, I just wish this is where I wanted to be a fly on the wall. Like, why? What are they trying to accomplish with this? Getting Braun over more, I guess.
You don't need to.
But it's like you don't need to. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing I don't understand. It's like Braun's super over.
He won the greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
He got a belt that we've never seen again.
Nope. And we won't see it again until next year.
If ever.
If ever.
Yeah.
And he's the monster in the bank now. So
Right, sorry, not Mr. Money in the Bank. Monster in the Bank.
Yeah. It's got a great shirt where it's like his hands crushing the briefcase. It's pretty great.
Next match is a triple threat for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Carmella defending against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
This was probably the best storyline heading into this event.
Yeah, Becky cut this terrific promo on an episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Just this terrific babyface promo.
Because like she's essentially been irrelevant for like a year and a half, right?
Yeah. It's
For that long.
Time for Becky Balboa
Yeah.
to take her championship back. And so they're like, okay, and she successfully beats Carmella, and so it's like, okay, the match at SummerSlam is gonna be Carmella defending against Becky Lynch. And then Carmella sort of not goads Charlotte becomes involved.
Yeah.
And Charlotte and Becky are friends, obviously. And Paige, who's the general manager of SmackDown now.
We've talked about that.
Yeah, okay.
That was after
She's
WrestleMania.
great, by the way.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's making a lot of decisions that to the audience are like, oh, those seem like the decisions that a general manager would make.
Yeah.
Not like Kurt Angle. And so the way that Charlotte is involved is that Paige was like, look, okay, fine, you two go out there, Carmella and Charlotte, you settle your differences, and if Charlotte wins, then it'll be a triple threat match.
Yeah.
And it was, and afterwards Becky's like, great, thanks, friend. You've just made this way more difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because now I have to beat Carmella and you. And not only do I like you, but you're a really good competitor. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Becky felt like her shot against Carmella one-on-one was pretty good, which is probably true.
Yeah.
But
So it's kind of, it was a nice little character touch because like Becky wants to succeed, but she's still not that confident in herself that she feels she measures up to Charlotte. You know, it's like, oh no, Charlotte, like it's the one person that like, the last person I wanted to be in this match was Charlotte, because Charlotte has been positioned as like the super female athlete, like a super athlete, like a perfect genes and like created, you know, like Ric Flair cut a piece of his flesh off and created this clay mold, like you know, like that's what happened. So it's been really great for Becky, like leading up to this, like, oh, it's been awesome just seeing Becky in, and we're like all like the whole crowd's like behind her the whole match, like it's very rare that like I shouldn't say very rare. I want to word this properly because it's like the female superstars usually don't get pops that like huge pops. You know, and it's just like, because I feel like their storylines are,
Asuka, who's not on this
or
card.
Ronda Rousey, I guess. But it's just like Becky consistently gets a good reaction of the crowd.
Yeah,
always. And now it's been ramped up because we all feel like, oh, it's Becky's time. Finally, she's going to be you. Because all we do is we want Becky to be in the spotlight more because we all like Becky. She's fun to watch. So this whole storyline leading up to this has been just brilliant. It's been so great.
So during the match, Carmella slaps the back of Becky's head and then ducks out of the way.
Yeah.
So Becky thinks Charlotte did it. So they're immediately arguing. You know, and Charlotte's like, I didn't slap you.
Yeah.
Also, this is a competition. And Becky's like, oh, fine, I'm fine to compete, but don't be dirty about it. It's basically this argument they're having in the middle of the ring while Carmella laughs. Carmella, by the way, her moonwalk has improved.
Yeah.
So it was a good moonwalk today.
Carmella's really grown on me.
Oh yeah.
Over the last few months, since she cashed in, she's really grown on me. I think she's great as like that chicken heel.
Yeah.
That will never fight you. It's been awesome.
And this was also a good. I thought this was a good match with a lot of great in-ring storytelling.
Yeah.
With Becky doing well, but not being able to quite clinch it, and then Charlotte sort of, putting on a clinic, but also not being able to put people away, and Carmella basically playing the other two off one another and surviving. And I thought it actually worked out really well. In the end, Becky hits an exploder on Carmella and opens herself up to Charlotte hitting a natural selection on Becky for the pin and the win. So Charlotte wins this match.
I was so mad, but like in kayfabe mad. Like I was like,
much to many people's surprise. Charlotte wins the match. Not only that, with a pinfall on Becky. Big chance for Becky after the match. Yeah. And so then Becky snaps and attacks Charlotte.
And the crowd goes nuts, dude.
The crowd, as Becky is walking out of the ring with her awesome like Horizon Zero Dawn hair.
Yeah.
As she's walking away from the ring, the crowd is chanting, "You deserve it."
Yeah.
To Becky, that she deserves the title. Really, really, that's great crowd reaction.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. It's like people want to love Becky.
Yeah.
Because she's legitimately great.
I wonder if they're going to change her music. If this is like a heel turn, or it's just considered like, I don't even know if they'll treat it as a heel turn.
I haven't seen the SmackDown.
I haven't seen it either.
From this week. It sounds like they're angling her for a heel turn, which makes no sense because really Charlotte should be the
heel.
Yeah, a face can snap and attack somebody. Like Charlotte is, I think, much better at being the heel in this kind of feud.
Well, I mean, like we're way more in a gray area of where a lot of characters stand as far as what they do and how we perceive it and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that no matter what Becky does, like people are going to cheer her. So it'll just be one of those things where it's like she'll just be a badass, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
A very personal storyline leading into the next match, the WWE Championship. AJ Styles defends against Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Now these two have history.
Yeah.
Way back in.
I didn't see any of this stuff
way back
in
TNA Impact.
Yeah.
They've had matches going back.
They even kind of like mentioned. They didn't say TNA directly, but even Kurt Angle's like, I've been in the ring with both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. It's pretty cool. It's like, oh, cool, man. It's like Vince is, lightening up a little bit. It feels like. And
so Samoa Joe has this. Well, they played this video package, and a lot of it is this promo that Joe cut, where he's basically talking about how AJ likes being on the road and likes being a wrestler because he ignores his family, and that he never really actually wanted a family. He doesn't like being tied down. He certainly never wanted kids, and so the time on the road means that he can use that as an excuse to just not spend time with his family.
Yeah.
And AJ, understandably, is offended by that allegation.
You think?
Yeah.
Would you be?
Yeah. And so yeah, it gets very, very dirty and personal. And during the ring introduction,
he's essentially telling Guile to go home and be a family man.
Yeah. He's like, look, you got a family, you go do that. Yeah. I'll send you home. Yeah. I'll take the title. And during the ring introductions, the ring announcer announces Samoa Joe and starts to announce AJ Styles, and then Joe grabs the mic and says he'll do the introduction.
Yeah.
And he points that AJ's wife and one of his kids is at ringside and is like, don't worry, he'll be coming home tonight. As in like, I'm going to beat him so bad he has to go home, sort of thing.
I think he says he's going to be your wife's daddy.
Well, yeah, later in the match, while they're fighting on the announce tables, he grabs the mic again and is like, oh, sorry, I guess maybe daddy might not come home tonight. Don't worry, I'll be your new dad.
Samoa Joe is the best. I made one tweet when I was watching SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And it was, nobody can make me believe a storyline more than Samoa Joe.
Oh, man, yes.
He is so good. It almost feels criminally underrated, like how good Samoa Joe is. And he should hold this title at some point. He needs to. I feel like he's earned it. He's so good.
this whole match was great.
Yeah,
also,
it was awesome.
Samoa Joe, again, everyone who sees Samoa Joe for the first time, looks at him and goes, "Oh, okay," and then they see how quick and nimble he is, and they're like,
"Oh,
wow, holy crap!" And so this whole match was terrific.
I wonder what it is about like Samoans and Fijians and stuff, because I mean, like they're not exactly body guys or body people.
Yeah.
And but they're just so fast and athletic, like consistently, and I just wonder what it is. It's like something genetically, I don't know. It's just like I just don't know. It's that certain something the French call I don't know what.
Yes, a certain I don't know what. You just say it, but with a French accent.
Yeah.
A certain I don't know what.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that accent? I
don't know. That wasn't even a French accent. What? I don't know.
I don't know. And so AJ gets busted open and starts bleeding as they're fighting in the announce tables. And then when Joe gets on the mic and says that about like, I'll be your new daddy, Styles just snaps and loses it.
Yeah.
And like starts like, he like knocks the ringside officials, like knocks the staff out of the way and gets a chair and just cracks Joe with the chair and gets DQ'd. So Styles is still the champion. This is, I like the face DQ finish, right? It's not like AJ didn't get DQ'd because he's a heel and that's the only way that he can retain the title. He got DQ'd because Joe made him so mad that he snapped.
Yeah. I think I really like, a lot of people were upset at this because it was just like a carbon copy of the Shinsuke finish, their first match, not their first match.
Yeah, we talked about
the second match. The second match they had when Shinsuke kept cheating. He gave him a low blow and then AJ snapped. I like this character arc of AJ being this so hyped up as like this physical competitor, like this technical what's the word I'm looking for? Like god, basically, like this god tier technical wrestler. But his mental fortitude is easily attacked.
Yeah.
And it's like it's gonna cost him. It's like they're leading into this arc where it's gonna cost him.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be awesome when it happens. Cause like they're doing such a good job of building this up, man. I was totally fine with this. I was like, okay, well AJ snaps again. And it's like something's gonna happen. In the terms of a storyline, like Paige or like the general manager, Paige is gonna have to look at this and be like, AJ, you need to stop doing stuff like this. You're the champion. You can't just be having a hissy fit every time someone calls you a name or does something. You know.
I love after the bell rings and he gets DQ'd, he hits Joe with the chair again.
Yeah.
And the camera goes over to his wife, and his wife is like, "Stop.
Yeah.
You need to stop."
Yeah.
And he like chucks the chair down and goes over to see his wife. You can hear them. You can hear his daughter go like you got blood on you, Daddy, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. And he tries to hold her, and she's freaked out by him because he looks terrifying. And like, I don't think the kid's acting either. This
is going to lead to Joe winning the title. It has to.
Yeah.
AJ broke the record for the longest reigning SmackDown champion. He broke JBL's record of 281 days or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, because that's always, anytime JBL was around, he was always like, longest reigning SmackDown.
Yeah. You said that, oh, good, like, fuck you piece of shit.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah, that was just like the subtitle would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. Bless his heart. Next is Elias.
Yeah.
Live in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is weird.
So he's sitting in the ring with the spotlight. What a preamble. He talks for so long. He wants to dedicate the song to all New Yorkers tonight because the filth that normally plagues your ears, the dirt normally in your mind, and the harsh reality of being a disgusting New Yorker is all about to be washed away. But this is really, really, really long build-up. And then he finally goes to start to play it, and his guitar just breaks.
Yeah.
Like, the neck snaps off at the body. And he just sort of stares at it, kind of in disbelief, and the crowd does a, like, you fucked up, you fucked up chant, and then he leaves. I mean, he kicks the chair over and chucks the guitar and then leaves. But it's like, oh, that was a comedy bit.
You ever look at a painting and you know it's art, but you don't understand why it's art? That's how I felt about this segment.
I know that this is wrestling.
Yeah.
but I don't know why it's wrestling.
Yeah, like
Why
I
is this
don't.
here?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they were trying to do. I think that it was something way smarter than what I have the capacity to understand. Like, this was so meta. This is meta on a level. I think it was like something bigger than what my tiny pea brain could
I
comprehend.
think they were just trying to mess with the crowd.
I know, but it feels like it was something bigger.
All right.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's when I was watching it. I was like, I don't get what just happened, but I know that something just happened.
Yeah.
I don't think that sounds like to say like, oh, they're punishing a lie. Like it was some kind of like, you're gonna go out there and we're gonna embarrass you kind of thing. Like it's not like that. I just mean that in the joking sense that something happened. Somebody was trying to like shoot some random reference to something. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Backstage, we see The Miz.
Yep.
And he is talking to the B team. Well, the B team sort of like rocks up with their titles, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, look, it's the Miztourage. We're not the Miztourage anymore. We're the B team now."
That's a pretty good bow voice.
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
He says tonight the B stands for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. For whatever reason.
Yeah, because he's trying to get into Miz's head.
Yeah, because they're mad that Miz left, even though he got traded and it was out of Miz's.
Well, because he's a dick to
Miz was kind of a dick,
He's like, well, hey, it's the B team. See, I told you you'd be successful. Just got to follow my lead. Unlike this Daniel Bryan guy, you followed me, and look at you. Now you're champions. You can go get my limo if you want, for old time's sake. And they're like, no, what? No. So, because that's the next match. It's Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
Miz has a reality show.
Oh, you're
Miz and Mrs.
Miz. Yeah.
The best name, man.
Miz and Mrs.
I loved it so much when I heard it. I was like, Miz and Mrs.
Yeah, it's Miz and Maurice and their daughter. And it's another.
It's like something Sky, something Skylar.
Sky,
something. Yeah.
Their child.
Yep.
But yeah, they posit this match as like 8 years in the making or something like that. The video package leading up to this is terrific because it goes all the way back to when, in an earlier form of NXT, before NXT was its own wrestling promotion. Yeah. It was this like
it was like a segment, wasn't it?
It was its own show. It aired on Sci-Fi. It was like a quasi-reality show of like. It was positioned like a competition reality show to become a WWE wrestler, except everybody was under contract and it was all just sort of used for storylines or whatever. And in season 1, at the end of the season, all the NXT superstars, except for a couple that they didn't like, crashed an episode of Monday Night Raw and under the lead of Wade Barrett and called themselves the Nexus. And they were like, we were on NXT and now we're being ignored and we demand to be taken seriously and all that stuff. And when Nexus attacked Raw, it was a terrific bit of TV. Yeah. It was really, really good. And Daniel Bryan, indie darling.
Indie darling. Like, indie. This is like, I think Daniel Bryan was the original indie darling.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. Yeah. Fresh-faced, clean-shaven. He comes onto NXT and they're like, okay, your main roster pro is The Miz. And people were like, that's so,
first of all, after the first, I thought it was after that Nexus attack, Daniel Bryan got fired because he choked somebody. Yeah. He choked someone on camera.
Justin Roberts, the ring announcer.
Yeah, he choked him with like a cable.
No, it was Justin Roberts on
It was his tie? That's what it was, yeah. And then the WWE was like, you can't choke someone on syndicated TV. Like, yeah. And not on our wrestling show.
And they fired him, and then people were like, what the hell? What? And it's obviously that he'd been cleared that was okay, and this was like some sort of backstage snap decision, and then they sort of walked it back, and so they were like, okay. You can work some indie dates, and we'll bring you back. Yeah. And then
they brought him back when like John Cena fought the Nexus.
Yeah, so John Cena was like, look, it's this guy, and everyone was like, hey, it's that guy. That's awesome. Yeah. So, but on NXT, The Miz was Daniel Bryan's mentor, basically. And so that's sort of where this whole started, and it went, over the years they had feuds, and then when Daniel Bryan had to retire, then Miz started attacking him even more, knowing that he couldn't really fight back. There was that talking smack bit where Daniel Bryan was like, I mean, you wrestle like a coward, right? Which wasn't even a like kayfabe thing. It's like Daniel Bryan is like his very aggressive wrestling style is what made him have to retire, and thank goodness he was able to come back at all. But he was basically being like, well, you wrestle too safe. You never take risks.
Yeah.
And to which Miz responded, well, guess what? I'm still wrestling.
Yeah.
So how'd that work out for you, Daniel Bryan? And it's this great, by all accounts, I don't know if Daniel Bryan and The Miz actually get along at all.
I think they do.
By all accounts, like, there was a huge thread of people who've met The Miz in person at various events or stuff, or just randomly bumped into him. And apparently he's a really nice guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he is.
Like, really giving of his time to people who come up and are, say hi and whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, in the storyline, however, Miz and Daniel Bryan do not like each other, and Miz has been using Daniel Bryan's moves for years. And so this is, finally, I'm surprised they didn't hold off on this until WrestleMania. This is like the culmination of this big grudge match.
Yeah.
And this was, how long was this match? This was the longest match of the night. This was 23 and a half minutes.
Yep.
And this was really good.
It was great.
It was a really good match.
I mean,
holy moly. What I don't even know what to point to.
I don't even know either.
Miz's chest looked. What did Corey say? It looked like hamburger meat from all the
chops,
the open hand chops. Daniel
Bryan. Well, it was like Daniel Bryan's chest at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, dude, I love every
commentary
time
arguing whether they were the yes
kicks. That's what I'm just gonna say, man. I love that part of this match. It was like commentary, like Corey Graves, like, oh, the it kicks, and Michael Cole's like, come on, or not Michael Cole, Byron.
I think you mean the yes kicks originated by Daniel Bryan. I know what I mean, Byron. Look up what a comeback is, or some study. Byron said something silly at one point, and Corey was like, you need to study how to do comebacks.
Yeah.
You could even see Corey at the announce desk in the background of that shot, and he's just like shaking his head. It's just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It was really funny. But yeah,
they kicked the piss out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. The ending.
Yeah.
We can talk about the ending.
So Miz gets knocked out of the ring.
Yeah.
And sort of flops over the barricade near Maurice, because Maurice is watching from ringside.
Yeah.
And Maurice, by the way, I don't know why, considering the Bella twins said they'd be ringside for Ronda Rousey and are later shown ringside for the Ronda Rousey match.
Yeah.
But they are not ringside now.
Yeah.
I don't know why not, considering Brie is married to Daniel Bryan. Anyway, so Maurice is there.
Maybe Daniel.
And she
I'm not sure.
Grabs Miz's hands to be like, it's okay, you can do this, while planting brass knuckles in his hands.
So old school, dude. I loved it. Yeah.
So then Miz pops back in the ring, clatters Bryan across the face with the brass knuckles. Instead of immediately going for the pin, he tumbles back out of the ring, ditches the knuckles back to Maurice, then jumps back in the ring and pins Daniel Bryan and wins.
I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it definitely feels like a callback because, okay, this is a bit of a stretch, but William Regal used to had a gimmick where he had the power of the punch, and he would keep brass knuckles in his tights.
Yeah.
And William Regal trained Daniel Bryan, so it just feels like a little nod. I don't know if it was or not, but maybe not. But it was just nice.
What I like is that Miz wins because of the knuckles, and what I like was that later in the night you go backstage and Brie and
this is great. That was a great,
really great backstage bit. Bryan's icing his head injury, and Brie comes back and is like, it's okay, and Daniel Bryan's like, it's not okay. I should have seen that coming. This is how he always wins. He cheats and does stuff like this, and by letting him win, I've just proven him right. I have proven
this comeback was worthless.
Yeah, my comeback was worthless, and his strategies work.
Yeah.
His strategies have always worked, and they continue to work. And even though I know all of his strategies, I still let him do it.
Yeah.
And what a complete waste.
An attack on Daniel Bryan. The idea of Daniel Bryan, the idea of Daniel Bryan is that the wrestling style that I champion and how I believe that wrestling is supposed to be pure and athletic and may the best man win kind of thing. And then I know that he cheats and I let him get away with it and I thought I could beat it and I didn't. And the fact that I lost to it is eating me up. Ooh!
So good.
Give me more of this. There was some good stuff on this show. Now that I'm talking about somebody with it, I'm like, man, there was some good stuff on this show.
Real quick aside, there's an ad for the Super Showdown, which is a network.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah,
happening in Melbourne, despite Michael Cole's repeated insistence on pronouncing all the letters.
Melbourne. The Melbourne supremacy.
Yeah. Your microphone fell off. In 2012,
Yep.
at WrestleMania 28,
Yep.
Triple H fought The Undertaker
Yeah.
in a match that was billed as the end of an era.
Yep. Was that Triple H's like retirement? It was supposed to be like his.
Yeah.
It was his last match,
Yeah.
right?
Until October 6th in Melbourne, when Triple H and Undertaker will be facing each other, quote, for the last time ever.
For the second time. John Cena versus The Rock.
Unwritten asterisk. Like, for the last time ever, unwritten asterisk, unless we decide to do it again.
Imagine if they put John Cena and The Rock for the third time on this card. How great would that be? Thrice in a lifetime. I'm really looking forward to Triple H versus The Undertaker.
I mean, yeah, but it's like...
It's going to be great.
Just like, settle down, guys.
They're just going to be like, it's going to be great.
So the next match is Constable Baron Corbin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about Constable Baron Corbin?
Constable
I think it's
Corbin.
great.
Basically, he's Kurt Angle's enforcer crony on Monday Night Raw.
But Kurt Angle doesn't want him. He's been like, he's imposed himself. Like, kind of like...
Was he assigned by
No,
Stephanie?
he asked Stephanie for the job. He is like, hey,
Okay.
he went behind Kurt's back and was like, Stephanie, I think that Kurt needs someone to like watch over what he's doing or something.
And Steph's like,
yeah, sure.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So he's cut off his hair. He wears like casual business attire now.
Yeah.
Honestly, he looks great.
Yeah.
Losing the long hair, I think, was a smart decision. And so he's now, Kurt's doesn't like it, but he's now Kurt Angle's basically enforcer crony on Raw, and I think it's a great role for him. He's been doing really well at it.
Yeah.
So he's been having disagreements with Finn Balor, and so they have a match at SummerSlam. And this is the other one that disappointed me because I was like, oh, cool. All right, I want to see Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin because we've said for years on this show that we quite like Baron Corbin.
I like him.
And so I was excited to see this, and it is even funnier that he comes out in like slacks and a button shirt with the sleeves rolled up. And then for whatever reason, it's the Demon. I don't know what about this feud warranted pulling out the Demon. I guess because it's SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the boom boom and all the...
It's cool because like
They put
we
like
all
a big
knew
swirling
there was like
cloud.
there's like a different beginning.
Yeah.
The sound is like mutated, I guess, a little
Yeah.
bit. Like the beginning of his intro was different for the Demon, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are arguing like, hey, maybe the Demon should have like a different finisher or something, you know? But whatever.
Maybe. But anyway.
I think it was more like he brought out the Demon just to remind everyone. In my mind, it's like Finn Balor did this to be like, hey, by the way, I still have this, like this trump card that's never lost in my back pocket. You know?
So this is when the Demon's coming into the ring. This is what I was talking about. Corey, we talk a lot about how Corey's really good, but Corey sounds legitimately terrified of the Demon.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't fair. How is Corbin wasn't prepared for this? How is Corbin supposed to handle this? Look at this man. Look at this beast walking to the ring.
Yeah.
And the other commentators are like, yeah, Baron Corbin will really have to dig deep today. You know, it's like, just, you know, act like you're afraid.
Yes, and.
Act like you're also afraid.
Yeah.
You know, it's an imposing sight.
Yeah. Or like, you know, like Michael Cole, I mean, that's not really Michael Cole's announcer character to be like, finally, Baron Corbin's going to get what he deserves. You know, like have that reaction. You know, like here comes the Demon. Like you hecked up. You hecked up. Yeah.
And that match lasted 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. So far, two matches have been about 1 minute long.
Yep.
The Demon wins, by the way. It's not like Baron Corbin hits the end of days.
Sorry.
And then, just kills the Demon.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
So, next up is the U.S. Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura defending against Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, Jeff Harvey.
Jeff Harvey. So, in the video package leading up to this, they show that Randy Orton is sort of peripherally involved in this feud, but he's not here. He does not factor into any part of the evening's proceedings.
Randy is 100% a heel now.
Yeah.
And he's on this like crusade where it's like he feels like people are taking advantage of the road that he paved for everyone else, or that he paved. for them, even though Jeff Hardy's in the WWE longer than he was. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But he's targeted Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
As like his first victim, I guess.
But in the meantime, Hardy is in a feud with Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of about it.
That's it. Shinsuke's still hitting people in the groin.
Yeah, or tries to, but Hardy has that scouted. There's a point in this match where he goes, "What?" and Hardy jums away, and Shinsuke's just stuck there with his arm up in the air going, "Oh,
no.
What happened?"
Nani?
This was a fun match because they could really do stuff and keep up with one another, and there was a lot of good in-ring stuff.
Yeah.
The crowd started doing the delete chant, and then Shinsuke's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Delete, come on!" He like makes fun of it. And then Jeff makes fun of the "come on," and then they go back and forth.
Heel Shinsuke is something that I need more of in my life.
He's really good.
He's great.
Jeff does a swanton bomb onto the apron.
Yeah.
The hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
And
it leads to his downfall.
It does. It does indeed. Because Nakamura hits him with a Kinshasa.
Yeah.
And retains the title. It's not a long match. Well, actually, that's a lie. It's 11 minutes.
11 minutes is about what I would expect out of an average pay-per-view match that's like not a main event, right?
Yeah.
Or a big, quote-unquote, big feel match.
Yeah. So it was good. It was a good match. I liked it.
Liked it.
And then...
And the right person won. I definitely think that Shinsuke needs to hold this title for a while.
Yeah. Now, I said... I don't want you to think that I misspoke when I said Randy Orton does not factor into the evening's proceedings. It's not that he's not there. I think I might have misspoke. Maybe I did. I don't know. Anyway, after the match, Randy shows up.
Yeah.
He comes out, his music hits, he comes out, he walks down almost to the ring, and then goes, nah, and leaves. And that's it. And everyone's like, oh, were you good? Okay.
The Viper. He's back.
Viper.
The Legend Killer.
The next match is Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss defending against Ronda Rousey. They play a great video package of basically, Alexa doing her heel stuff and being the goddess, the champion, combined with Ronda Rousey and dialogue narration from Roddy Piper.
Yeah,
things he actually said to her.
Yeah.
That they have recording of, and her like looking at his jacket and how he was an inspiration to her and everything like that. And that was super cool. And they showed this clip of Rousey holding a medal, and there was dialogue of like, "You're an Olympian, you've done all these things." And I would have put even money on her being an Olympian, but the image of the medal being from some sort of like regional whatever, because they would totally do that, right? Be like a footage of like some sort of interstate competition where she got a medal, but mentioned that she was on the Olympic team. I actually did not know this, that she got the bronze for women's judo at the 2018 Beijing Olympics. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Oh. Yeah, she's a legit Olympian.
I hadn't heard of her before UFC, so
yeah.
Anyway.
Not a lot of us had, though. Nobody had heard of her, really, other than like the judo heads. Shout outs to the judo heads in the YouTube comments. I don't know. You're probably gonna show up. There's gonna be one or two.
What are you? It can't be judo heads. What are you? What are you called? Adam definitely just made that up.
No, it's definitely judo heads. Check it. Google it. What judo fans?
I will later. I'll just let the comments yell at me. Before the match, however, Natalya comes out just to sort of be there. It's a nice gesture. She comes out. She's wearing her dad's jacket. Jim the Anvil Neidhart of the Heart Foundation passed away after a myriad of health problems that he'd been battling for many years, and she's wearing his jacket from the first SummerSlam, right? The first one? No.
SummerSlam 1990.
SummerSlam 1990, not the first one. But that's when the Heart Foundation won the tag team titles.
Yep.
And so she's the excuse for her being there is that she's a friend of Ronda Rousey's and she'll be sort of cheering her on.
I mean, they've been touting that for...
Yeah, exactly. And so they're like, forever. Oh, good. We have an excuse to
Yeah.
let Natty go out there in her dad's jacket and have a nice moment.
It's crazy to think that the only member of the Hart Foundation left is Brett.
Yeah.
Like the Attitude Era Hart Foundation, like Owen's gone,
Yeah.
Bulldog's gone, Pillman's gone,
Yeah.
Neidhart's gone. There's only Brett left.
I don't think anyone would have bet that, considering, again, the health problems he's had.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Ronda has some fierce makeup going on.
It's like a war boy. Like she looks like Furiosa from Mad Max.
Yeah. It's weird. I can't quite... I get the impression that she's doing like the crazy hair and the crazy makeup because she's like, I want to do the stuff because I get to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
But it like, to me, it doesn't really fit with her character.
Yeah.
But...
I think it's just like, well, I mean, she probably doesn't even have really a say.
Oh,
Vince is probably just like, put the makeup on her.
I think they mostly get some amount of say. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Anyway, this match lasts a staggering 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, this is a 4-minute match.
Yeah, most of which I think is Alexa Bliss running away.
Yep.
So there's this moment where they sort of spar for a little bit, and then Alexa's like, nope, I am severely outmatched. I'm gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just starts leaving, because if she gets counted out, then it's a DQ and she keeps the title. And so Ronda's in the ring being like, come on, I'll let you take a hit. I'll let you take the first hit. Come on, you know what? I'll turn around.
Yeah.
I'll put my back to you. You can take it. I'll do you better. I will sit down in the middle of the ring with my eyes closed. Go for it. And Alexa's like, okay. And for some reason, she gets back in the ring and gets jumps on Ronda, who doesn't move, which surprised me. Mm-hmm. I totally thought it was more of a trap. Gets like a headlock on her, and then Ronda just sort of doesn't care.
It's
like being attacked by a toddler.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, you have some strength, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And then, judo flips her, and then...
Judo flips her a bunch, then almost breaks her arm.
Picks her up, does the arm bar, and Bliss taps out.
God, there's one part where she's like bending her arm back, and it's like reversed.
Alexa has hypermobile, at least elbows. I don't know about all of her joints, but she's done that thing before where like she's gotten... They've only done it like 2 or 3 times, because if you overuse it too much, it'd be really, really bad. But they've done the thing where someone will knock Alexa's arm, and she'll start screaming, and she'll hold her upper arm and dangle her lower arm such that it looks like it's broken because her elbow goes backwards more than it should. And you're like, oh my God, what happened? And the ref comes over to check, and then Alexa's like, ha-ha, and like attacks her opponent again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that worked out really, really well for this. And so, yeah.
Your new women's champion, Ronda Rousey, debuts at WrestleMania. 4 months later, she's the champ.
I mean,
interested to see where this goes. Actually, there was a banger of a segment actually that I loved on Raw the next night. Mm-hmm. And they were presenting the title to Ronda, and Steph was there. Mm. And Steph was like, oh, yeah, Ronda, blah, blah, blah. This is about me, and blah, blah, blah. And then Ronda was like, can you stop making it about you? It was great. It was awesome. It was like, she said the thing that we're all thinking. Cool. So it was pretty funny. It gave me a good chuckle.
And now, already, your main event.
Yep, we're here.
The WWE Championship match. Brock Lesnar defending against Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And I did the thing, and I shouldn't have done the thing. I was watching this on the network, and I was like, I'm curious, and so I tapped the screen to bring up the timeline, and I'm like, there's less than 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
And we haven't even done the entrances.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So Roman enters. They've been doing these.
This is why I'm glad I don't watch. I usually watch it live.
Yeah.
So I can't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't like tap it and be like, because I would.
I shouldn't have done it, but here we are.
I would also be like tempted to like skip stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any willpower. Is what I'm trying to say.
I know. Like, obviously nobody from WWE listens to this show, but if you do, if I had one, in all seriousness, you can ignore all the stuff we say about narrative, as you will anyway, but one feature request, on the network, you have play, and then to the left of play, you have a jump back 30 seconds button. Please put a jump forward 30 seconds button. Every other app has this.
Yeah.
Just, I don't care about your Be a Star thing sponsored by Cricket Wireless. Yes, I'm gonna jump through, the commercials and matches I don't care about. I'm paying you for this network.
Nah.
Anyway, so Roman Reigns comes out. Much like WrestleMania, they're doing the augmented reality entrances. We haven't mentioned them before, but Roman's is his weird Undertaker-y looking logo with just a giant dog head floating above the ring because he's the big dog. And I'm like, that's a big dog. It's a big dog. I can't say it's not.
That's a big dog.
Yeah. So Roman Reigns comes out, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come out. The lead up to this has basically been Brock sucks and no one likes him, and he doesn't like anybody else either.
Yeah.
Brock
doesn't respect the business.
Yeah, that might be true in reality, but that's also the storyline.
Yeah.
Is people are honked off at Brock because he won the title and he never defends it.
Good word.
And he just sort of goes off back to his farm in Saskatchewan. And he shows up at...
My boy.
Yeah, he shows up at UFC and challenges people, but he doesn't seem to care about the title.
Yeah.
And so then they bring him to Raw, and he doesn't want to come down to the ring. And then Paul Heyman goes backstage, and Brock's just sitting back there reading, like, Backwoodsman Quarterly. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
And...
The best Photoshop was the Young Bucks one.
Yes.
The Young Bucks one was great.
Prior, in that same night, Reigns had insulted, he'd cut a big promo on Brock about how, the same promo, you know, about how he's never around and Roman's there all the time and he should be defending the title and all that.
Yeah.
And so then Heyman goes backstage and he's like, are you hearing what's going on out there? And Brock's just like, Paul, I don't watch the show.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious and like a great sort of character thing, but it's like, because the impression that people have is that Brock doesn't care about it and that he's never around, he's only in it for the money. And so they're like, all right, F it, we'll just lean into that, fine.
Yeah.
Brock's character is now that he never watches Raw, he doesn't care about the show.
Yeah.
And maybe that's true, but we're using it as character now.
Yeah.
And so Kurt Angle gets really mad. He's like, if you don't show up, then I'm taking the thing away from you. And so then Brock does show up, he F5s Kurt Angle, and then Heyman hands him back the title, and then Brock attacks Heyman as well. It's just sort of like, stop annoying me, basically.
It was good. I actually like the build up to this. It was neat. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was still good.
So Roman comes out,
Yep.
Brock comes out, Braun Strowman comes out.
Ooh.
Everyone's like, oh wait, well, huh?
Yeah.
So Braun Strowman comes out, remember, monster in the bank,
Yeah.
gets in the ring, and is like, so I have the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I'm not a coward. I'm not gonna surprise someone from behind. You know, I can fight anybody here. So here's what's gonna happen is I'm gonna stand over there, and you guys have your match, and then after the match, whoever wins is gonna catch these hands.
Yeah.
And he just gets out of the ring and stands there.
Yeah.
And the other two are like, oh no.
I actually liked how Brock laughed. Brock was standing there and he's like,
Yeah, he laughed until Strowman called him Beastie Boy.
yeah.
And then
He's called him that before though.
Yeah, but he got real mad about it. He was like, and like went right up to him.
Yeah.
And then was sort of like sidelong look at Roman and was like, wait, I have a match in a second. I should, you know.
Yeah.
So
Sure was a match.
Brock is initially distracted by Strowman being outside the ring.
Yeah.
So Reigns is able to surprise him with a Superman punch. Just forget having a match. It's a Brock Lesnar match, so we'll go right to the finishers.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's technically a Roman Reigns match. Not really. No, it's
Yeah.
more a Brock Lesnar match.
to be
than a
clear,
Roman Reigns match.
that's not me saying we are going to jump to the finish of the match. I'm saying the bell rings and the first move is the Superman punch.
Yeah.
Just so that we're clear. The match is jumping right to the finishers. Superman punch. A terrible second Superman punch. Like Brock's moving in the wrong direction and reacts in the wrong direction for the way that the punch is going.
Yeah, it was no bueno.
A third Superman punch, and then a spear, and then another spear, and then a third spear. And
Six moves.
yeah, and then it doesn't work. Lesnar locks him in the guillotine, choke,
Yep.
and Reigns almost taps out.
Yep.
And so then they do big.
I legit thought he was gonna tap.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, he's gonna tap. Oh god, I was like the not like this emote on Twitch. I was just like, oh no, please, no, just give Roman the title. End this.
And
just kill me.
Just kill me. And so they then suplexes happen because it's Brock Lesnar.
At one point the crowd was chanting, "You both suck."
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
That was great.
Made me laugh.
Strowman just stoically watching from the outside, and the crowd's chanting, "You both suck," which is pretty funny.
At one point, Roman goes to spear Brock, and then Brock moves.
Yeah.
And then he like suicide dives outside the ring and hits Strowman.
Yeah, I don't know how this works in terms of like physics, but yeah, he's trying to spear him again, and he just gets basically flung through the ropes and takes Strowman out, and then they go outside, and Brock F5s Strowman as well, and then chucks the briefcase way up the ramp, and then gets a chair and starts just wailing on Strowman because Strowman's not in the match.
Yeah.
And so Brock is allowed to do that.
Yeah.
If Strowman attacked Brock, there would be a disqualification. But basically WWE is like, if you're in the match, you can attack people who aren't in the match, I guess.
Yeah,
But if they attack you, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
So then after basically making Strowman no longer a going concern, Lesnar gets back inside the ring, Reigns hits him with a spear, hooks the leg, gets the pinfall. Roman Reigns, he's your Universal Champion.
Ding dong, the beast is dead.
Finally. Now we can have storylines again.
Yeah. Yep.
The reaction is
Mixed. Usual Roman reaction, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the match was good though. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
it was brief at least.
Look, man, I'm gonna go out on a limb, Graham.
Yeah.
This is the title reign that people turn the corner on Roman. This is it.
And by people, do you mean like
His detractors.
the writers? Like, do they figure out how to make him
Males
likable?
aged 18 to 34.
All right.
You know, like when people are like, man, Roman sucks, I'm sick of seeing him. And then this title reign's gonna be like, yeah, you know what, Roman's pretty good. You know?
That is a very positive outlook.
Yeah.
I'm
starting to turn the. I mean, like I've been like.
I will definitely go with you on that. This Roman Reigns title reign will finally make or break him one way or another.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be in the positive. I hope it will be, just because I don't want to sit down to record him in a sidewalk slam, dreading talking about Roman Reigns every time.
Like a new John Cena. Do you know what happened on Raw?
No.
Okay, you want to know what happened on
Yeah.
Raw? Okay, the next night on Raw, Roman Reigns is like, I'm a fighting champion, so I'm going to defend against someone who I think deserves it, and he calls out Finn Balor.
Oh, wow.
And so Finn Balor and him have a fight in the main event, and after the match, Finn loses, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
I'm always just going to bet on Roman for the next year. Probably a year and a half.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman comes out.
Oh.
And he's cashing in.
Okay.
Roman, he's like, actually, like, ladies and gentlemen, Braun Strowman, and then the Shields music hits, and Ambrose and Rollins come out in Shield gear, and they triple powerbomb Strowman through the announce table.
Huh. Interesting.
Right? So what I think is that I really want them to play up this like entitled Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm the best, I deserve this championship.
And
I
Rollins
think
is the IC champion right now. Okay.
And I think that if the Shield gets back together, then I get to keep what I deserve.
Right.
There's no way I will ever lose this title again.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm curious to see how that goes.
I am very excited. I've never said that about a Roman Reigns storyline.
Yeah.
But I am very excited to see where this goes.
I think that's the quickest we've ever done a 4-hour pay-per-view.
Yeah. It feels weird that was 4 hours and there was like minute-long matches.
Yeah.
I really liked SummerSlam. I thought it was good.
Oh, yeah, right. And overall, yeah.
Overall, I liked it.
Yeah, it was all right.
There were so many good like little storyline bits. The AJ Styles stuff, the Daniel Bryan stuff, the Roman Reigns stuff. I never thought I'd say this, okay? The storylines, the Roman Reigns stuff.
The Becky Lynch storyline.
The Becky Lynch storyline.
Yeah. The
Ronda Rousey was great.
Yeah. The IC title match was great.
Do I feel bad for Alexa? She'll recover.
Yeah. So
recover. I don't even think she was damaged. It's just Ronda's been positioned as like this, the Brock Lesnar of the female division.
Exactly, which makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed the show, and I'm looking forward to trying to get back into it. What's the next pay-per-view?
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell, right? Mid-September.
And they're all co-branded.
They're all co-branded.
Yeah.
Smart.
Bless up.
Yeah, we've got that, and then Evolution in October.
Yeah, and then the Superstar Showdown thing in October. Is that October as well?
Showdown Under. Yeah, it's on October 6th.
Yeah, so they're both in October. The Women's Evolution, and the Mae Young Classic has been recorded. I didn't look up any spoilers, but
which was at the other end of the month,
or has been recorded. Or they started recording
it. But they're having the finals of the Mae Young Classic at Evolution. I think. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that'll be good. So hopefully we'll be back on track, and the hellscape of a summer that we're all having will have calmed down by then. So
I felt good doing the show again.
Yeah.
I've missed this.
who knows when you're seeing it, but at least we're here. Speaking of when you're seeing it, shout out to our editor, Ben. Thanks, as always, for all the hard work that you do. If you want to hit us up on Twitter or, I don't know, Mastodon, if you're so inclined. I'm Graham_LRR on both. Oh, and Instagram. I've been posting pictures of my cats.
Yeah. You like cat pictures?
And it's
Who doesn't?
Graham_LRR in all slots. Yeah. Exactly. They're really fluffy. And Adam is on Twitter at...
Wake Up Super.
At
That's
Wake
it.
Up
I don't have Mastodon.
That's-
I still like Twitter. I don't know. That's maybe not a popular opinion.
No,
but
it's there's a barrier to entry for Mastodon that I don't wish to get into in the YouTube comments. Thank you. You can talk to me about it on Mastodon. Yeah.
There's that argument.
Yeah. And a reminder, as always, that this show and everything that we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thanks always for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.